Hello, online crew. Okay, I think we're live everywhere. I'm on my son's computer. I bought a new computer, but it's not ready for me. So I think we're all up and running, and that's a good thing. So how are you? Welcome to today's live, where I'm going to share with you 5 tips that I swear by that help me work smarter and not harder. Because some of you are just working way too hard. And a lot of where that comes from is what's going on up here. So if I mention the words overwhelm, procrastination, thinking too much, scrolling but not really getting much done, does that resonate with any of you? I think anybody building a business online can relate to procrastination, overwhelm, scrolling without much action. So I wanted to share with you some of the things that I do that really help me work smarter and not harder. So if you've got a pen, you might want to sort of write these down, because these are the kind of things that you really want to execute to sort of do a better job of dealing with all things social media. Because when it comes to social media, I think a hard part with being on social media is there's so many moving parts. And you want to build online and grow an audience and get outside your family and friends. And, that's a really good thing. But then you're doing content, and then there's reels, and then there's TikTok, and then there's stories, and then there's posts, and then there's trial reels, and there's all these things that just become really confusing. So what I'm about to share with you is some of the things that I focus on to help me work smarter and not harder. So number one comes before all the others, because if you don't have this, you're probably not going to execute all the others. And that is, it's not necessarily a practical one as such like the others, but just as important. Number one is your self-awareness and self-responsibility for where you're at, to know, I hope this makes sense, to know that you need to work smarter and not harder. So we've got to have a level of self-awareness around if you're a procrastinator, if you're an overthinker. Like, if you don't really recognize that you have those traits, then you can't do anything about it. So the first tip is to really recognize and have a level of self-awareness. I procrastinate too much. Like, put a number 1 down below if you can own that. I procrastinate too much. I overthink too much. Like, that's what you're doing. If that's you, then that's the first step, because it's like, okay, I need to change things because I'm overthinking them, or I need to do things differently because I'm procrastinating. So you can't do anything unless you have a level of self-awareness and self-responsibility that you want to change that. So it's up to you to change that. If you sit in overwhelm and you sit in procrastination, then you've got no one to blame but yourself. So if you're not as far ahead as you would like to be, if you know there are goals that you want to achieve and you are nowhere near that, like you're not getting there, you've got to take self-responsibility for that and do something about it. So you can't work smarter and not harder unless you have a high level self-awareness if that's what you need to do. Now, I know that sounds a little bit silly, but it's absolutely necessary for you to actually recognize it before you can change it. Okay? Hope that makes sense. And thank you for being honest, Jeanette, in sharing that in the comments. Okay? So number 1 is self-awareness around the fact that you might be an overthinker, procrastinator. You're not doing as much as you know you should be doing. Okay, so just be real with yourself about that, and that the fact that you need to find some solutions for that. That's number 1. Number 2, you need a very good working DMO at a minimum. If you also have a WMO or an MMO, I will explain, then that's good too. But very minimum, you need a DMO. A DMO is a daily method of operation. Okay, it's the things that you do every day for your business and personally. A WMO is a weekly method of operation. There are some things that you might do weekly that you're not going to do every day. And an MMO is a monthly method of operation. There might be things that you just do once a month that only are fitting to do once a month. So I'll give you an example of my business. At the end of every month, I have a Google spreadsheet. I've had the same spreadsheet since 2020, I started, and I track everything in my business. Every platform that I'm on, the amount of followers that I have on that platform, all my income in my many different income streams. I know exactly where I'm at the end of every month with everything. I track everything. Now, that's not something that I do all the time. That is something I only do at the end of, sort of the month. But even those of you that are newer on social media, you should be tracking your numbers once a month. Like, is your following growing, or are you losing followers? Like, are you going backwards? Like, at a very minimum, you would want to be tracking that and tracking your income and activities as well. The daily method of operation is your secret to success. It's not all the fancy things that you go and sign up for, online that you think is going to make you go viral. It's the things that you do every day. It's the things that you do for yourself personally every day. So there's personal development in there, and there's also the business component. So what are you doing for yourself every day? I was just talking to this with the VIPs. I've just got off a 2-hour call with the VIP students, and we're talking about routines and about this, kind of thing as well. But every morning I get up and I exercise. Like every day I do that. And if I've got an early morning call, which I had an early morning call with the VIPs today, I just get up earlier and do my exercise. It's what I do for me because it makes me feel better. It's not so much about the physical exercise. It actually helps me mentally in so many different ways. So that there's things that I do for myself every day that help me be a better version of myself. What are you doing for you? What are you doing to look after yourself? What are you doing to, help your frame of mind, to be more positive, to, to get some exercise done? So on your daily method of operation, there should be some things on there that you are doing for yourself personally. But then for your business. So for your business, there's 2 things that you should be doing every day for your business, along with other things that you'll be doing, but content and conversations. Absolutely. Content and conversations every day. Every day you should have content going up somewhere, and you should be in conversations. Now, your conversations could be you prompting conversations. It could be follow-up, but you should be having conversations every day. So it's those small things that you do every day that's going to move the needle forward. Your next customer and your next business partner are coming from a conversation with somebody. So if you're not having any conversations with anybody, your business isn't growing. And if your content isn't creating conversations, then you need to go and create the conversations. You need to take responsibility for that. If your content's creating the conversations, amazing. It's just taking, your social media content is taking care of, the conversation starting, and then you just nurture those conversations. But if you are posting every day and that is not prompting anybody to get into a conversation with you, then you need to have those conversations. Doing that every day is working smarter and not harder, because it's the small things that you do every day that's going to make your business grow. It's not being amazing and being all in your business for like 2 weeks and then disappearing for 3. That is not working smartly. It's a proven fact. The small things that you do every day are what are going to set you up for success. But just when you're on, you're on. When you're off, you're off. So this brings me to number 3, is when are you going to do this DMO that you've written out? You're going to time block it. You're going to make time and space in your day to time block and do your daily method of operation, your personal stuff and your business stuff. And so when you're on, you're on, you're off, you're off. Okay. And this is what time blocking, this is the freedom that time blocking can help you work smarter and not harder. Because what most people are doing in this industry is they're on all the time, not necessarily working the business, but they're thinking about it. You're thinking about it on and off and on and off and on and off. You're going to your phone multiple times a day. You're scrolling multiple times a day. So you're thinking about your business every day. You're thinking about how nothing's happening. You're thinking about the fact that you should post something on social media, but you still haven't. And then you pick up your phone and you start scrolling. So you're scrolling, you're thinking, you're beating yourself up, you're comparing yourself to others, and your business isn't growing because you've wasted all that energy on all of those activities and you actually haven't posted anything, you haven't actually started a conversation, like you're just thinking about your business all the time. That is not productive. So you're like, in my day, okay, when am I going to work on my business and when I'm not? I'm going to time block. I'm going to have this time and that time and that time, and I'm going to do my DMO there. I'm going to do some follow up there. I'm going to respond to some people's messages there. Like, you're on, you do it, and then you switch off. You turn off your phone. You spend it with your family at nighttime. There are no emergencies in network marketing. People can wait. It's not that bad if somebody has to wait for, a reply. So when you learn to time block in a way, you get freedom back. So you're doing what you need to do for your business every day. That's working smarter, because it's the small things that you do every day that compounds. You know that. Look at a professional athlete. They don't just get from, being an average person to being, amazing at what they do, just by being good for a few weeks and then backing off for the rest. They practice every day, every day, every day. And how they become the best of the best is the small things that they do every day. Your business is no different. You do small things every day, content and conversations every day. You time block that, so you're getting it done. And then when you've got it done, you switch off and you go about the rest of your day. That is working smarter and not harder. The secret to your success online is that. It's not learning the next shiny object syndrome or moving to the latest flashy thing, which a lot of people do, or being in, 5 different companies to see which one is going to work. It's staying the long haul and working smarter and not harder. So things like time blocking. Anybody can wait for you for 30 minutes, even your family. You can get a lot done in 30 minutes if you're focused, and you can say to family, even children, partner, whatever, I'll just be 30 minutes. Keep somebody busy for 30 minutes. You can get a lot done in 30 minutes if you're focused. If you're not focused and you're distracted and, you allow your mind to wander, then, that's on you. But you can get a lot done in 30 minutes, and anybody can wait 30 minutes. Like, if you struggle with, your family or kids or a partner or things like that, you can slip away for 30 minutes and get some stuff done. Anybody can do that. Time block for content creation. Most people are creating content by flying by the seat of their pants. I would not recommend that. It's very freeing when you can sort of time block and sit down. Okay, I want to think forward about the content that I'm going to create for next week. What does that look like? I need a bit of a plan. Like, sit down for 30 minutes and have a time block in your calendar for content creation. And do that at a time that works best for you. You know when you're freshest. Is it in the morning, or is it in the evening? Everybody works, a little bit differently. But when are you most fresh-minded? Time block some content creation, okay? And just get ahead of the game. Time block your team calls. You should stay close in this industry. You should always stay close to the fire. And what I mean by that is stay plugged in with your team calls. Show up and put them in your calendar. Time block them. Replays are not the same. And if you rely on, unless you're in a time zone that you can't, obviously that's a little bit different. I mean, there's recordings of team calls that are happening when I'm asleep, time zone wise, but I always wake up and watch that the next morning. Like, I time block for that. I know that's what I'm going to do on a Wednesday morning. I wake up, I know the team call that's happened in the US has happened overnight on the Tuesday night. That's one of my things that I do on a Wednesday morning. I just make time for that. So when are your team calls? Are you making time for them? Are you time blocking them? Are you showing up? The more you don't engage with your team, the less likely you're going to get results, because you're not going to be enthusiastic. You're not close to the fire. You're not warm. You're cold. You've walked away from the fire. You haven't prioritized it in your calendar. It's for some reason not important to you. But there's nothing more important in this industry of, network marketing, social selling, etc., than being close to your team, being close to the fire, being on those team calls, being part of the discussion, feeling energized by the call that's just had. Like, you should time block that and make sure that you make time in your day to be on those calls. That's the kind of thing that you should time block. You also want to time block just because of the way the human brain works. We're also just talking about this on the VIP call, actually. Your brain is designed to keep you safe and comfortable. Building a business of this nature, particularly online, is not necessarily comfortable. There's a lot of things about it that are awkward. There's a lot of things that you second guess, you procrastinate, you overthink, so you don't go and do it. So there's a lot of things that make you feel uncomfortable. Our brain is designed to keep us comfortable. So your brain is always going to talk you out of things that you know you need to do for your business. You want to send a message to somebody, but it's a little bit scary. Your brain will tell you it's okay, do it tomorrow. It's just the way our body and our brain is designed to work. When you time block to get things done, you kind of force yourself to do things that you know you don't want to do. Because if you just rely on just every day going about your day, oh yeah, I'll get some work done tomorrow, but you don't time block it, you don't go into it with intention, I guarantee you won't get it done. Because you'll be distracted and you'll do all the things that make you feel comfortable, because the things that make you feel uncomfortable, you will always avoid. Okay, so time blocking can help with that. The other thing with time blocking is it can help you be a creator instead of just a consumer. You are picking up your phone multiple times a day. And I bet 99% of the time you're just looking, you're lurking, you're comparing, you're just reading what other people are doing. You're getting lost in the scroll. You're getting lost looking at reels. Like, I hate to think how much time we all spend just scrolling. Like, admit it. Drop a 2 if you can admit that you're a scroller. Everyone is to some degree. We all go to our phone for something. We get waylaid by looking at something, and then suddenly, 20 minutes, half an hour has gone by. Like, everybody does it. But if you can learn to like time block and use that time, okay, like I'm going to create some content, or like when you get on your phone and think, okay, I'm going to social media as a creator, not a consumer. I'm going to social media. So whenever you open up your phone, you go to social media as a creator of content, not a consumer. That includes engagement. So as you're scrolling, love, like, comment, engage. Don't just get lost in the scroll. And when you time block, you can time block for that kind of networking and engagement and stuff like that. Like, get a lot smarter about the time that you use instead of getting lost in the scroll. Thank you for those honest enough to put a 2 down. Okay. Number 4, repurpose and recycle your content. When you write a post, store it somewhere, store it on a Google Drive, store it, in the cloud somewhere, just to have some kind of system. You could have like a Google Drive with folders in it, written posts, product posts, business posts, engagement posts. You could have it all nicely sorted, like in a Google Drive. Social media content, different folders. When you write a post, like save it in there or put links to your posts in there. So like every 90 days, you can start recycling your own content. No one remembers what you wrote 90 days ago. You can also take your own post, plug it into AI and go, this was a really good engagement post, or this was a really good written post. Can you give me a slightly different variation of this post? So take your own content, plug it into AI and get it to give you a different version. You see somebody else's content post, it grabs your attention. You're thinking like a creator instead of a consumer and going, that's a very well written post. Take that post, plug it into AI and say, can you rewrite this post, but with my story embedded in it? Like, some of you are thinking that you need to start from scratch with every post that you create or reel that you create. I remember it wasn't last year, it was the year before, a whole Christmas in January, that it was close to 8 weeks. I just repurposed reels for 2 months that I'd already done. I did not create a new reel for 8 weeks, just repurposed what I already had. Some of you could go back to, your Facebook or your Instagram, scroll back, have a look at some of the posts you wrote 6 months ago and 12 months ago and reuse them. You don't have to create new content every time you post. Recycle and repurpose. And if you do a reel, can you make that into a written post? Or you do a written post, is there a version of that you could create into a reel? Like repurpose the same message in different formats. Work smarter, not harder. So both of those are big ones, repurposing and, reusing, like recycling your content. You could easily recycle a whole lot of content, on a 90-day rotation. Okay. So that's number 4. Number 5, use AI for everything. Not to not be genuine, but to sort through anything that you are struggling with. I was just sharing with the VIPs on the call how I'm using AI just to solve anything. Like I'll go to AI, I'll go to chat, and I'll just start talking. Like it's really freeing when you use the voice command, and you can use that on the free version of like ChatGPT. You don't have to have the paid version. So you use the microphone and you just talk to it like you're talking to a person. So constantly I'm just going to it going, hey, I want to write a post about, my AI is called Izzy. Long story behind that, but that's for another day. Hey, Izzy, I want to write a post about such and such, and I really want to talk about such and such, and I want the audience to feel such and such. I'm not really sure how to word it, but this is kind of what I'm thinking of. Can you give me some ideas? And then it'll spit out some ideas for a post, and now I'm well on my way to have a written post. So it comes up with some ideas from what I'm thinking. Like you've got all these thoughts up here, but some of you just don't know how to write good content. You're not a very good copywriter. A lot of us aren't. But you can use AI to pull all of that together. You just need an idea. So I'm using AI for that kind of content creation all the time. I'd like to do a product post about this. Like, I'd really like to share with people the benefits of blah, 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 blah. Like, can you draft something from me and get a concept, and then you massage it with your story and you edit it to make sense to you. You could use it with something you're stuck on. Hey, chat, whatever you call your ChatGPT, I'm really overwhelmed at the moment. I've got this going on, that going on, this going on, that going on. Like, I'm really not sure where to get started. But this is what I'm trying to achieve. What would you recommend? They are the best. It's the best counselor. So you need to regulate. Number 1 on this list of 5 was your level of awareness and self-responsibility. You need to be very aware when you are just not doing what you know you should be doing. You want to build a business, but you're not building a business because you're not creating the right content or any content at all. You're just sitting back, you're scrolling, you're watching what everyone's doing, and then you're complaining that your business doesn't work. It's not your business that doesn't work. It's you that's not working. And as long as you're aware of that, you can get into chat and go, hey, I've really let myself down lately. I've got this business, blah, blah, like explain what you do. I want to get started creating social media content again, but I don't want to be spammy. I want to do it in the right way. What would you recommend? Like whatever you are dealing with, you talk about it in the voice command and chat and get some answers. Those of you that are stuck in your head, you're procrastinating, you're overthinking things, there is a solution, and it's right in front of you in your phone. And you can immediately, whatever you are procrastinating on or whatever you're overthinking, you can talk it through with ChatGPT and get some solutions and start working through what it is that you need help with. On, like, I'm talking personal life, relationship life, social media. Like, there are so many solutions there for you to move faster on whatever you're stuck on, get some solutions and take action. And then, like, when you move, like, the only thing that's going to get you to where you want to go is the discipline of taking action. I've got 3 mottos now. 1 is being a human before a marketer. I've shared that here for years. The second one is, if you're not having fun in business, you're doing it wrong. You got to work with a pretty cool team and have fun. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. And my third one now is discipline is the difference between goals and results. You can have goals, but you are not going to get any results without discipline. So the discipline is you knowing, that you need to move or make decisions or find solutions, and then you have a good working DMO, and then you time block it. You do all these things that, I've shared with you, these 5 things. Okay. I swear by these 5 things. So you have an opportunity to listen to this and go, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Or you can have the discipline to take, just even one of those on and execute it and, see what a difference it makes in your business. You are in the driver's seat. No one is coming to save you. It's up to you as to, coming up like what you want to do is be a solution seeker all the time. Don't play the victim. Don't blame anyone else. I hear all the excuses under the sun. I was busy. I was this. I was that. It's like, yeah, whatever. You can believe your own excuses if you want, or you can get into something like ChatGPT and whatever you are dealing with, explain it. And definitely do the voice noting. Don't type it all. That just takes too long. But that, like, it's your voice. It's your your emotion. And it can help you come up with ideas that you would have never thought of yourself. I came up with a technical issue yesterday. I'm on my son's laptop. Luckily, it's school holidays. Otherwise, I'd be really stuck. I finally bought a new Mac on the weekend. Amazing. But my computer guy has my computer, and my new computer is transferring all the data with me. So I am extremely lost. And I'm on my son's school laptop. As I said, thankfully, it's school holidays. And so I'm trying to find out all my programs, when you get on a different computer for the first time and all your passwords. So Facebook, Zoom, StreamYard, Google, email, everything you have to start from scratch. And there was something that I couldn't do. So my brain immediately, I've kind of trained myself, I'll ask chat. So I went in and say, hey, I'm on my son's computer. I'm trying to do this. It's not quite working. Can you offer me a solution as to how I can do that? Within seconds, I've got a step-by-step solution. I've followed that and it worked. It's like solutions are right in front of you. It might not be 100% of the right advice all the time, but if you start thinking, okay, I'm stuck on this, I need to do something about this, and you talk to chat about that and you get some ideas and whatever, you will move a lot faster. Some of you are being stuck in procrastination and overwhelm, and you've been there for not only days, but weeks, but months, some of you years, and you're still in the same spot you were before. And that's no one else's fault but your own. You have the power to do something about that. But one, you need to recognize it first. Okay, I'm a little bit stuck here. I don't know what to do. And then you do the other things that I mentioned. But you've got answers right in front of you with all the technology that we have access to, and AI and ChatGPT. Like, when you start using it on a daily basis for personal relationships, business, whatever, it is game changing. I am so busy at the moment. I'm about to start traveling for almost a month. I've got a lot to do before I go away, but I'm holding it all together because I'm moving and finding solutions and doing, I don't even have my own computer at the moment. I feel very lost, but I'm in control. Why? Because whenever anything comes up, it's just like, okay, how do I deal with that? Or how do I deal with that? Like, I'm moving through my stuff quickly. I'm not hanging on to it. I'm not getting totally overwhelmed by everything. I'm coming up with solutions as things pop up. It's freeing. You can work a lot smarter instead of harder if you do just these 5 things that I've shared with you. I've got other things that I do, but just, these 5 things. Okay? I hope that helps some of you. Just, just take that on board and see if it helps. Okay? Okay. Leonie, how do you deal with feeling like you don't have anything to offer someone on social media? Or how do you deal with feeling like that you don't have any relatable content? So for me, that I would say you don't really know what your brand is for you to say that. If you don't feel like you've got anything to offer, then that would tell me that you don't necessarily know who you help and what you help them with. So I would be digging a lot deeper into what you think you represent, who it is that you want to help, and what you want to help them with. When you know to your core and you are proud of what you do, and you know who it is that you want to help, and you know what it is that you want to help them with, the content flows. You will sit in the posture of that, And it doesn't matter who listens or who doesn't. Like your target market, like when you speak to your target market and you speak to the problems that you solve for people, that the right people will come, because you'll keep creating the same content that speaks to that person. And the people that don't relate to that, they'll weed themselves out. And the people that do relate to that will grow. So Leonie, I would just ask you, do you really know where you sit in your own personal brand? Like maybe you need to think a little bit deeper than that. We all have value. Everybody has value, and you all have value in your own story as well. And people overlook this. Like, what's your story, Leonie, as well? So firstly, I would share with you, like, what's your personal brand, and think deeply about that. Secondly, what's your story? Why are you doing what you're doing, Leonie? Like, what brought you to be in the business that you're in? Is it more product focused? Is it more business focused? How has it helped you? How has it helped you grow? Like, what's your story? When you marry up your story with your own personal brand, now you've got a hell of a lot of value to bring on social media. But you've got to find those things first. When people are lost on social media and they don't think they've got much to give, or they don't think that they've got much value to give, you're probably not really sitting in your own story. And everyone has their own story. Even when you don't think you have your own story, you do have your own story. And who you help and what you help them with. Does that help at all, Leonie? Leonie, there would be more to everybody has got something to offer. You just got to find your people, and you find your people by knowing, having posture in what you do, being proud of what you do, because not everybody on social media is going to gel with what you do, and that's completely fine. It's not our job to impress everybody. It's not our job to worry about what our family and friends think. Most of your family and friends in this industry, they're not going to be the ones that support you initially. Some will, but usually it's after you've had some success that then they'll start listening. So you got to find some other people. But where most people go wrong on social media is that they don't have that core of who they help and what they help them with. So you're talking about a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And no one really knows what you're doing, and you don't get much traction from it. So when you sit in that posture of knowing who you help and what you help them with, and you're proud of that, and you speak to that openly, you'll find your tribe. When you second guess yourself, you don't have that posture, you don't have that conviction, you don't really know what it is that you stand for or who you're helping or what you help them with, that'll all end up being a little bit wishy-washy on social media. Okay? I hope that helps. Oh, yes, thank you. Okay. How can we stand out on socials? So good question, Lauren. So how do we stand out on socials? Don't blend in with everyone else. Just because you see somebody doing something, like what most people do in this industry is they follow somebody and they'll go, I'll do what they're doing. And they'll have exactly the same branding message as somebody else. Like the most unique way to stand out on social media is to be uniquely you. So every one of us is unique in our own way. We have our own personality. We have our own quirks. We have our own things that we're passionate about. Don't follow what everyone else is saying or what everyone else is doing. Yes, take guidance and admire people and follow people that you look up to that are more successful than you in your companies and all those kind of things. But find your thing. What's your thing? What are you really passionate about? Really think deeply about that, and then talk about that over and over and over and over again. If you're just a little bit vague about what you do, you're a little bit vague about how you help people, you're just a little bit vague with your messaging, your results will be a little bit vague. So find your thing. And one thing that can help you find your thing is actually embedded in your story. Every one of you has your own story, and no one can argue with your story. Your story is your story. So own your story, whatever that is. Okay. So I hope that's a good starting point. I could talk to you for ages about how you kind of find that for yourselves, but I've already talked long enough. So there are a lot of little golden nuggets in these 5 tips if you take them seriously. So each one of them is a huge topic of its own. And I just hope you kind of listen and re-listen to this and think about how you can execute some of those things for yourself. So you can really find what you're looking for and stand out from the crowd. Find your own tribe. Don't try to keep everybody happy. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks. Just know what you do, be proud of what you do, own your story, and really work out who is it that you want to help, what do you want to help them with, and you talk about it over and over and over and over again, and you give value around that. So you share your story, you give value around that, and you offer to help people. Okay. All right, that's certainly enough for today. So thank you for listening. Those of you in my coaching community, we have the live Q&A Zoom calls for July. They're a little bit earlier this month because I'm traveling as of next week for quite a while. So the next few weeks are going to look a little bit different here, but I'll talk to you about that on my next live video, which is not tomorrow, the day after. Okay, so don't miss that live. So I'll see you in a couple of days.